We really try to be a leader and not a follower stylistically. As you travel market, it's still traditional and there is some very hard contemporary, but we like to play in the middle.
Right.
These are very unusual. The larger cabinet on the bottom is the 1940s French style. I found the antique in London. They were closed, but I called the number and said, I'll take it. So I bought the 1940s chest. We shipped it to Vietnam. It's wrapped in beautiful sycamore veneers. Even these little brass fittings here are forged solid brass that are laid and inset here with very small flathead screws. Everything completely consistent with the original antique from around 1940.
They look so authentically mid-century. I don't think there's anything like them at market.
This is a reproduction of an Italian cabinet. I bought the antique, so I shipped the antique over. We crawled all over it in the factory to pull all the details and color and patina. So here we have an amazing reproduction. Stocking dealer price, $990.
Wow.
I might also point out, we have oak line drawers, bench made as they would have been in Great Britain in the old days. Tremendous value.
I think the painted finish is as good as it gets.
What we have here is a console that's very soft Italian. It is in a cherry, but in the olden days they would have called it a fruit wood finish. But wonderful mid-brown color with a legitimate authentic patina, which gives it that wonderful handed down collected feel. We do not do matchy finishes, so as you buy our things and assemble a room, you get a wonderful collected, well-traveled feel.
Instead of doing a built-in, you could buy several different pieces, use them as a grouping to create architecture in your room, and then reconfigure it completely different in a different home.
I agree completely. Even the vertical cabinets have the same detail front and back, so these could be room dividers.
Right.
You could bunch them up and have a room divider.
They're terrific looking.
Paint is a big category still.
Right.
And we love our Gustavian gray finish with texture that you would see over here on this long side piece that is new this market. You have the reeded treatment to the front of the drawers and then the fluting on the legs, and then wrap them in that crusty Gustavian paint. It really tells a nice texture story. From here, I mean, it could be a 19th century Swedish antique.
Absolutely.
It's nuanced to that point, so
It is.
that's what we try and do. Here's a little bedside cabinet again in this Swedish gray finish with gold leaf detailing, Georgian Regency feel here, but when we lay this crusty gray finish on it and then pull out some gold leaf details, again, it gives it a soft edge.
It has great depth in the finish. It's lovely.
This is a wonderful little collection that's crafted out of solid brass with lucite accents on the legs. It's very modern with the legs, but very classic with solid brass tops of these tables. So very current, but there's no trendy feel to this.
And they're glamorous.
These have been very well received.
Are they new this market?
They were new last market, but what is new about them this market is we also offer them in stainless steel.
Terrific.
We boiled it down to something I think, again, is very minimal but very sophisticated. Stainless steel with solid brass accents, antiqued mirror, very vintage, but also has a nice contemporary presentation to it.
Beautiful pieces. And they could go in so many different rooms and just spice up old traditional settings.
This has a reversible top, a cast iron table with a gold leaf finish, as you see it here in black glass. But if you wanted to create a slightly different mood, you can come here and flip it and come back with your antique mirror. You have a little flexibility and you can switch gears if you want to. It's a good selling little chair. This patterned off of a pair of antique French chairs I bought. These were of the 1930s or 40s. The original antiques had the rosewood tapered legs. We have a nice hand-colored leather upholstery on this with nail head trim, and it's a very good seller.
So it could be both a desk chair and an occasional chair?
Sure it could, and we had it around a game table last market.
You could do dining too then?
Absolutely.
All right, so it does everything. It's what people need.
A wonderful slick gray finish with hand striping in an antique ivory tone, transitional, wandering toward contemporary a little bit, but again, very classic.
And beautifully finished.
Has a wonderful hand-rubbed finish.
And if you have a house full of dark furniture, this is the perfect thing to freshen up a room and make it a little more modern.
This collection in here is from our coastal company here called Somerset Bay. Perfect for seaside, lakeside, or a lot of times for a first home. Historically, Somerset Bay has been very traditional and very cottagey, but what we have done this market is roll out an assortment of things that are transitional or streamlined in our wonderful palette of hand-rubbed 16 finishes, tones of white and green and blue and yellow, all named after fattening foods. We have vanilla bean, we have key lime pie, creme brulee.
I think it's a really pretty card table.
These are kind of old Palm Beach.
Somebody might think you picked it up on the Dixie Highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We also make an effort to interpret mid-century or retro in a little harder way, and that is called Malibu Loft. These two stools are new this market. They're completely wrapped in vellum. Vellum is goat skin, or even has been called parchment at times, but it takes on this wonderful faded ivory color. What we have done is put a nice polyurethane coat. It's a beautiful look.
And there's nothing mass market about it.
This is a stainless steel etagere. Certainly suggests a big mid-century influence, and these shelves are flush-mounted panels that again have been wrapped or veneered with the goat skin or vellum. The kind of product that we sell and develop looks so much better when you have art of real integrity around it. What you see here is a collection from an artist who was a member of the Royal Academy, and when he passed away, his family kept the contents of his studio and many years later put it up for auction. And I bought lots of watercolors and canvases, and I found these amazing frames, most of which came from the flea market in Paris, and I'm picking the appropriate frame for the appropriate canvas.
It shows people that you can buy art without spending tens and thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
And that's good quality with beautiful old framing that just adds that wonderful layer to every environment.
The furniture feeds off the art feeds off the furniture. So designers and folks come back every market to see what's on the wall. Well, what we have back here is our antique treasure trove, where a lot of the pieces that I have bought to reproduce, after sending them overseas and copying them and getting the detailing right, I will put them back here and sell to customers as one-off antiques. We have a Venetian bureau bookcase here that's a wonderful accent piece for a home. Here is a fruit wood 18th century French lawn table that I plan on reproducing. This is the original French sycamore cabinet we were looking at a short while ago.
Once the tags started going out and we saw the prices, we were very excited because the combination of the quality and the price point we think is unparalleled at market.